We had breakfast at the 2320 Alaskan Grill. And 2320 is the altitude of the Mount Denali peak. That's why they call it the 2320. So we had breakfast there. It was good. And then we left to visit the homestead of Jeanelle Porterfield.
That was interesting.
It was a homestead visit, and I thought it was going to be kind of boring, but I found it was totally fascinating, the things they went through to develop a homestead there. And
the challenges.
In the 60s, yeah, the challenges they went through. We visited the home and garden, and we talked with Levi.
The whole Levi with no shoes on.
Levi with a long beard, long hair, and no shoes. Jeanelle Porterfield's daughter, Jeanelle, met us on the bus and began weaving her stories.
Stories, because 3 logs the roof is going to cost you. And they had all those kids. Yeah, so, here it is.
Yeah.
So I'm a mom.
There were cookies for everybody.
Everybody's mom did it.
Jeanelle told us all about the family history.
Keep us away from the bank and coffee cans. They all had coffee cans in them. Start bailing.
Jeanelle Porterfield's son Levi was the outdoorsman type. He was very knowledgeable about nature, gardening, and hunting.
Those are high bush cranberries, so they end up turning dark red and real squishy, and then they're edible. We use them to make cranberry ketchup. It's the best steak sauce you'll ever have, but you have to make it outside. If you make it in your house will smell like 30 feet for 3 days. They're called Sitka deer. They're little tiny things about the size of a dog, but I would never go and hunt one because you gotta get on a bush plane and fly there. And they're so small, we don't get much meat off them. But the real thing is, that is where all those giant coastal grizzlies are, and they are trained to those gunshots. They hear a gunshot, they know somebody got a deer, and they want to go take it from you.
Yeah.
You have never seen somebody skin out a deer so fast.
How about squirrels, rabbits, that sort of thing?
We do have rabbits. Squirrels out here aren't worth hunting. If you see one of our full-grown squirrels out here, you'll think it's a baby. They're only about this big.
This old tractor is surrounded by the typical Alaskan fireweed. We saw it everywhere we went. Alaskans never throw anything away. There's an old snowmobile right there. See it? We saw this nice-looking Alaskan train in Talkeetna. We walked through the small town of Talkeetna, checking out the shops along the way. At the end of town is a Talkeetna riverfront park, where the snow runoff Talkeetna River and the glacial runoff Chulitna rivers join with a fast-flowing current. we stopped at Mahay's Talkeetna jet boat landing and took a 60-mile ride up the Talkeetna, Susitna and Chulitna rivers. Our boat, the Talkeetna Queen, she has a covered cabin, a toilet, and 3 460 cubic inch engines with a combined 1,200 horsepower.
Hello.
How are you?
We headed off down the Susitna River. We stopped partway along the trip and took a quarter-mile walk to a place in the woods for lunch. Along the way, our nature guide carried a 12-gauge shotgun for bear protection.
These two are red foxes. They're not red foxes for the reason you might be thinking. It's not the color of the fur here that matters, it's the white tip on its tail. These can be more brown, black, gray, as long as it has a white tip, it's a red fox. And like a cat, foxes use their tail for balance, and at night they wrap it around themselves. It helps keep them warm.
Leaving the lunch area, we turned around and went back up the Susitna River to Talkeetna, where we took a left and went up the Chulitna River to a landing near our lodge.
Okay, everybody, here we are at the mouth of the Chulitna River, and we're going to head up the Chulitna River. The first 12 miles or so is very dynamic, meaning that the channels can change from day to day, and for that reason I have to scout it with a smaller boat each day before I bring this boat up there. I mentioned that I need at least 4 feet of water to stop in this boat, and that first 12 miles, very few places that I can stop. So if we see something, you have to get out and push, okay? So we're going to be going over some very shallow channels. If you're wondering about navigation, I don't have a depth finder, no channel markers or GPS, anything to help aid my navigation. I rely on reading the surface of the water. Quite a few spots in this first bunch of miles is only going to be about knee deep. It's a lot of fun. So if you're on the back deck, make sure that you're holding onto the sturdy handrail, but enjoy the ride up the Chulitna. Hold on to that handrail.
Say kid.
Lizzie waiting to pick us up and drive us back to the lodge.